So first of all, congrats to Lightning Bounties. And congrats to Lightning Bounties. And at one level, what I am trying to build, I consider all the companies that are building on Bitcoin as my client. So my Uber use case would be that everyone uses my analytical platform to do their data analysis and business decisions. So that's what it is. Okay, and this is my first visit to Mexico, and thanks to everyone. And so far, I have been enjoying my visit here. So I came here last week, and when I came out of airport, I felt like that I was in New Delhi, looking at all these buildings and traffic and everything. And then I have a bad habit of breathing from my mouth sometime. I breathed and I felt the dust. Then I knew that it is New Delhi. So, so at one level, I really love Mexico so far. And when I'm looking at Mexico, I'm looking at their history, modern, like it has everything. So to me, it feels like if some Mexico guy tells me that Mexico is one of the greatest city in whole America, I am not going to dispute that. I would take your word for that. So that's, Okay, so first we will go through what we are building and why are we building, right? So first why we are building and then what we are building. And then I have a couple of open source projects that I need help on. So I would like you to tell family and friends about it so that they can help me. And yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about myself. First, I want to talk about the work, and later on, I will talk about my experience and what I have done in past. Okay, so people who may not be familiar with Lightning, you may not know that this is a question that people have been thinking about for some time. So recently, Bitcoin fee was super high, and a lot of Lightning channel got closed. And in my mind, I thought I want to get data around that how Bitcoin fee changes and how many Lightning channel gets closed. And when I start looking at the data, I feel like that there is a lot of work you need to do that work. And at one level, the kind of work you need to do is more of a very hardcore software engineering job. And if you think of software engineering and data analyst, it's not necessarily that everyone is both software engineer and data analyst. And that is the reason that I'm building that platform. So I won't go through detail of all the steps that you need to do this analysis, but it's a lot of work. And people who are in this space, they know that there is a work, and yeah. Okay, so and now if I add additional question to it, right? So Lightning channel closure because of Bitcoin fee, and now I want to know by Lightning implementation. It's very hard question to do it. And I would say that people who are experienced also, they may take months to do it. And the platform that I am trying to build, my goal is that how anyone who with only data analysis skill, like SQL or understanding of data, they are able to do it within an hour or so. That would be like very goal after a year, but that's where I want to go to be. Okay. So again, one more example recently. So this guy is quite famous. People who are in this space, you may know him, right? And he is quite popular when it comes to Bitcoin and data analysis. So I looked at one of his analysis he did, and it was praised. So he looked at Bitcoin miners, and he had a question around, could there be a collusion between Bitcoin miners? And he tried to look at data and figure out what's going on. And when I looked at his thread, it seemed like he had that intuition around this question in April. And today is September. Last week, he came up with this analysis. And this guy has been in this space for a long time, and one of the, you could say, top guys in Bitcoin data space. And for him, it took 4 months to do it analysis. I know that he might be doing some other things also, but it took a long time. And how do we create a platform where we can do this kind of analysis quickly? And we can have more of this kind of guy, because he is both software engineer and analyst. And now, if we have only analysts, they may not be able to do it because it's a lot of work, a lot of software engineering work. So that is what the platform I'm trying to build. Okay. So this is summary of what we have discussed so far. So an analyst with a standard set of analyst skill, for them to contribute to Bitcoin data ecosystem is not easy. Any of you are from data analyst background? Yeah, how many years of experience you have? 3 or 4 years. Okay, and you are software engineer also? Yeah, it looked like, yeah. So I have been into this space for a long time, right? And I would say, like, pretty senior level also in data analysis, almost 15 to 20 years. So when I started my career as software engineer, and then mostly in data analysis, product growth kind of work. And with time, I lost my technical skills. I was using mostly spreadsheet, right, presentation, and in some cases SQL. And I was not using GitHub also, because when you work in big organization, you are not using GitHub. So for me, when I thought of, and for me, when I look at any analysis, I find it very simple. Like, I look at this analysis, in my mind, I can think of that I can do it in 30 minutes. But getting data is a big challenge. And when I came into this space, it seemed that how do you get all the data? How do you manipulate the data? How do you make it useful? That's a big task. So yeah. And okay, so this is like a standard statement, right? Anytime you are doing analysis, if you are trying to get data from raw data, 60 to 90% of task is building a useful data set, right? And if you are able to create a useful data set, and so that becomes reusable. So that's the basic idea here. Okay, so I thought, okay, yeah, so this is irony, right? Data is available. If you think of Bitcoin is open source, everything is transparent, even though data is available, but at one level it's not available to everyone, because you need to do a lot of hard work to make it useful. Okay, so I thought of this statement, then I asked ChatGPT that give me some good statement to explain this point. So I got this one. Oh, not this one, okay. So I was talking to someone, and then I thought, what if they are not from technical field? They won't understand what I'm trying to convey. So this I got in the morning from ChatGPT, explained to me in layman terms. So this is what I got. I don't know if all of you agree with this or not, but it makes sense, right? That if you don't have to grow your own ingredient all the time. So we have to reuse that work. Okay, so this is my Bitcoin data platform. So we would have Bitcoin blockchain data, right? Lightning network, layer 2 solutions, and I'm calling it here Web 2 data, but with time it would have data around Nostr, GitHub activity, and at one level I've started pulling GitHub activity of the developers also. So all kind of data. Then you get all that data and then try to create new variables out of it so that it's more useful to everyone, right? And that would be my value add to all that data, all the cleaning and all that stuff. And then there is a platform where you can create reports and dashboards. The platform would look like this. So again, if you have been into this space, you may have seen this kind of interface, right? All these reporting system have similar interface. So it would be very simple, like drag and drop, you can create reports. And if you want very complicated reports, very custom reports, then you can write your own SQL queries. Yeah, so you can write SQL queries and you will get output. You can push it in, you can share it in Twitter, Nostr, anywhere. Okay, so now I would talk about my open source project. I will open it and then I will show it. Okay, yeah. Center. Okay. It's too small, right? Okay. So I thought that if all of us should get something out of this presentation, I talked about what I'm trying to build. So now we know Lightning is like a layer 2 for Bitcoin, and the purpose is to scale Bitcoin, make Bitcoin faster, right? Because Bitcoin can't scale. You can't scale Bitcoin if you are using only Bitcoin blockchain. So this is high-level metric of Bitcoin, of Lightning networks. And before that, my goal for creating this open source project is, a lot of you may have seen the movie Margin Call, right? You have seen the movie Margin Call? So there was a very good statement there, very realistic statement. So the most senior guy, when he comes, he says, so explain to me like you are explaining to a dog, golden retriever, right? So my goal for this dashboard is to make it so simple that anyone can understand what's going on with Lightning Network. And right now I may not be there, but that would come with feedback, right? So, okay, so in Lightning Network, we got close to 12,000 active nodes. And we got close to 5,000 Bitcoin in the network. And channel is close to 48,000. I'm talking about all active nodes and active channels. And nodes and channel concept, I may not get into detail because it will take a lot of time. But at least, and there are a lot of metric I already got, but it would take hours if you start going to all these data and metrics. So I may not go into all, but I would explain a new metric that I have created. And I feel like people who are not into Bitcoin also may understand that because I have made it easier to understand. Okay, so I have created a metric, transaction fee, effective fee rate in BIPs. People who are in finance, they may know BIPs, right? So in general, if you think of credit card, debit card, there is two fee, fixed rate and variable rate, right? In Lightning also there is two fee, base rate and variable fee rate they call it. And so what I try to do that let's say you are trying to make a transaction of $500 I have done in terms of Bitcoin, how much fee you will end up paying on average. If you are trying to make a transaction of $2,000, right, how much fee you will end up paying. And then I calculated effective fee rate. And when you look at this number, so if you look at our online transaction, I know the number for US, it's closer to $100 online transaction, like Amazon, they call it average order value. And for that, transaction fee for Lightning is 1 bips, 0.98. And at one level, we shouldn't read too much from this number because it's like early technology. It's not like it's getting used by big businesses. But if you compare that number, for credit card, transaction fee is closer to 250 basis points. For debit card, that would be closer to 100 basis points. And Lightning Network, you got 1 basis points. And for bank, it is closer to 15 to 20 basis points, including all the risk and all that stuff. So it's very low. And there is a question around, is this effective fee rate would change based on my order size? Like if I'm trying to make a transaction of 1 Bitcoin, what would be my effective fee rate? So here I got this number. In x-axis, you have the transaction size, and y-axis, effective fee rate. So you see that like when I go higher transaction size, effective fee rate is going up closer to 7 basis points. It's still cheaper than bank and way cheaper than, like you could say, at least 1 by 50th lesser than credit card, and then it goes down. And there is a reason to it. There is no reason to explain, but here it would be very low because only a couple of channels can do that big a transaction that is closer to 8 Bitcoin, and it may be their own channel. Let's say River may have 2 nodes and they are doing transaction to do the balancing. That's why they may have kept fee super low. So something might be going on there, but at one level you get it, that effective fee rate is super low. Again, not to read too much because we have to, again, when big businesses start using it, things would change. Yeah, and I may show you some interactive chart also. And if you have any question on Lightning, I don't know, maybe I have the data, so you could ask me here. Okay, so this is interactive chart. So what I am calling it, so in Lightning, all the channels I have broken down into three channels, like roads, right? You can think of channels as road and nodes as cities. So I called freeways, highways, and my way, right? So freeways are channels bigger than 1 Bitcoin. And my highway, I defined channels greater than 5 billion SAS, and all else are my way. So I plotted here only freeways. And my hypothesis is, and I know that it's true also, at one level I have some data also to show, that anytime you are trying to go from one node to another node, and if it's not your friend circle, you may end up hitting freeways. The way when we try to go to, let's say, from Austin to New York, it's not that we would go without freeways. So that way freeways are always gets used. So these are all the freeways of Lightning Network. And here you can read the name of the node, what they got, how many yeah, it's not visible, but yeah, I can, yeah. You see, maybe I will show this guy, yeah, because this guy's behavior is very different, but yeah. So we know the capacity, how many freeways, highways, myway this node got, right? How many active channels, like everything you want to know at high level, you have data around it. And this width is proportional to the size of the channel. All are greater than 1 Bitcoin, but some channel could be, let's say, 8 Bitcoin, so they are wider. So and you can get a lot of insight looking at this, because you will know what exactly all these nodes are doing, because when they create channels, they do it for certain purpose. And when you look at that this guy has channel with these 3-4 guys, based on that you can figure out their business as well, depending on how much you know about this space. Okay, and okay, yeah, this is also new thing I had done. This is, so I am calling it prank. This is a pleb rank, right? So it's a prank. So I am ranking all the nodes of Lightning Network, and I have looked at a lot of data to rank it, and I feel my rank is comparable to any rank that we have. So one is by LND, right? Lightning Terminal, and I have looked at their rank. There is some difference, but this is also a good enough rank. And I may not go into all the detail, what the logic I have used, but yeah. So any question on Lightning you want to know, or yeah?
About how many freeways are there?
So freeways are like 200, I guess, or 148. I can look at it now. See first. Okay, see, I can look at it here. I am calling here, right? Highway, freeway. So 1% of all the channels are freeway, and the number you see is 678, in fact. 678, yeah.
67?
So 678.
678. And the definition of a freeway was?
Is greater than 1 Bitcoin, not equal to 1 Bitcoin, because there are a lot of guys with 1 Bitcoin, yeah.
So a channel with more than 1 Bitcoin?
1 Bitcoin, yeah. And if you do 1 Bitcoin, it's closer to 1200. Yeah, and I did intentionally greater than 1 Bitcoin because I asked ChatGPT what percentage of road in US is freeways, and that was closer to 1.5%. I thought that's the definition, my freeway definition. So
How does the Bitcoin price of that size of channel?
Yeah, so that is analysis that we should be able to do it very quickly. So that would be the goal of this platform, right? Yeah, because if we have all this data, Bitcoin data, Lightning data in one place, then we would be able to do it. Otherwise, these are very custom analysis. Yeah. Okay, so maybe okay, this one I gave. Okay, and now to develop Pleb dashboard, and this is an open source project, so I would like people to help me on this. And I have started work on creating a Python library to do data analysis for Lightning. That would be Lightning DS. And I have one more project, but there I got just a couple of charts. Bitcoin is beautiful. There I'm trying to visualize Bitcoin concept in a visually appealing way. And there is one more open source project, if you are interested in tennis, so that I would show very quickly. So if someone is interested, you could help me here. So I got some charts here. Let's say, because I created one graph for Lightning, I thought why not to create graph for our tennis players, right? Oh, what's happening? Okay, so this is all the tennis players who have played more than, how much matches they have played, their win ratio against each other, and here it's like same chart, Lightning Network. And then I did, tennis is a brutal game. It's all like all the people who get into professional level, only 10% survive. So think of their career. So again, so this is just open source project if anyone wants to contribute. Yeah, okay. And a couple of more things I could show. Okay, so this is a book. This would be Jupyter Notebook. It's book of codes to do data analysis for Lightning. So this is live on Gumroad. So that is one thing. I would share the link. And next month, I would be launching one course on Maven. Lightning Network for data analyst. So I will share all this link later on, but these are the, yeah. Okay, any question, anything I should?
What's your website?
Yeah, oh, website?
Your website and Twitter?
Okay, yeah, yeah. So,
Web dashboard.
yeah, PlebDashboard.com is open source project, right? And my site is orangemetrics.xyz. Yeah. Yeah, see? Yeah. XYZ, yeah. So this is Bitcoin's data platform, open source projects, and then enterprise solution. So this one I'm calling it enterprise solution for all the businesses. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay, do we have any other questions for Saurabh? All right, go ahead and clap. We're going to.
Okay, thank you.